Welcome into the John M. Huntsman Center on the campus of the University of Utah. Dusty Litzner, pleased to be joined by Dane Stewart and also the best coach in the history of Utah high school basketball, Quincy Lewis.
Hey, all I know is it's about 12:50, and I'm by the legends, Dusty and Dane. I'm watching some basketball, so life is pretty good right now.
This is a pretty good, I mean, if you're looking for what you want to do.
This is a pretty good gig right here.
But let's first talk about what we're going to see. So our matchup today is Davis and Westlake. And for Davis, I mean, this has been an interesting year if you're looking at Davis or what they were expecting and what they were able to accomplish. Because they only lost 3 games this year.
Yeah, hey, Davis is a quality team. I saw their last game. We played them last year. And, I mean, you got a physical team, you know, with Davis that's going to really guard. And, I mean, as I look at this matchup, we got a heck of a game coming up.
That's what we do.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Davis and Coleman Atwater. Look, averages one of the top scorers in 6A, averages over 20 a game, got great support with JT Turley, Bodie Sparrow, Trayton Bessinger. The list goes on and on. It's a deep team for Davis. They might need that depth here today.
It certainly will. And you look at Westlake, Dane, I mean, this is a team that is as put together as you could hope for.
Yeah, it is a very gritty bunch, and then a very experienced bunch with Sua, Hatfield, etc. They've got some bigs as well. Quincy, you know this Westlake team, and I mean, Nate Carling, they're always intense, they're always physical. It is a very well-coached program.
Yeah, and I think you said it right. This is an experienced team, too. These guys have 4 starters back from last year from what I would have considered a really good team. They got them back, and they played well at the end of the year. They tied for the region championship, and so I think you got, like I said, we're in for a heck of a game right here.
Well, it's going to be really interesting to see where this game goes, how we get there, who does what. Will be very, very interesting. And it's just going to be, I don't know, a very interesting night from the John M. Huntsman Center. I put it in.
I'm excited. I just know I'm by Dane and Dusty. I'm wondering where my hot dog is, though. Can I get a hot dog, or what's up?
In fairness, we've been trying to get you next to us for years, but you're always coaching. So it's like, you always have other plans.
Got a few other things going on.
So now set to jump as we will start with the Westlake Thunder. And Dane talked about, I mean, my gosh, this is something that the coach Carling's wanted to do. He's got a long team. This is an athletic team. As you see the drive and then going to send back out. But coach, I mean, this is one of the things that he wanted is there's a steal, and now they'll run out. Comes down the floor, sends it out, and the 3 is good for Trayton Bessinger.
That's a good start for the quarterback, huh?
Yeah, he's been hitting some shots lately for him. Hit some big ones against American Fork.
He does not lack confidence to shoot. How about another turnover here?
He's just got to be smart with the basketball. As here comes Sparrow, sends it out to Coleman Atwater. And Atwater will walk it back up to the top. He's going to reset his offense. Got it with Atwater. Coleman going to jump it and score it.
Well, one thing you see right there is Westlake's going to drop the screen right there, and so Coleman's going to be able to have that shot all game long if he wants it. He's maybe a little bit of a side contest, but that's important. And really, we're going to see soon here how Davis wants to guard the ball screen, which I think is important.
Kind of surprised me because Atwater, we mentioned, scoring 20-plus per game. If he can get that open look all game, Coach, that might be trouble.
Yeah, I mean, they're you know what the way they're looking at is we're not going to give him a 3. We're going to push him over the top. We're not going to give him a 3, and he's one of the state's leaders in 3-point shots right now. We're going to make you shoot a mid-range, hopefully, and he just showed that he could.
And that he can.
Yeah.
It's 5-0.
Rematch of was it the 2020 state championship?
It was the 2020 state championship.
Davis won that one with a Chance Trujillo, that magical postseason run.
Yeah.
Coach was there.
Yeah, we had the game after, I think. Yeah. And that was a heck of a game. I mean, boy, Westlake was their best big kid got hurt that year.
Hunter Phillips.
They were going on fumes and heart, that year.
How about the steal? And there it is. Turley picks up the loose ball and lays it up and in. And it's a 7-0 start for Davis.
So one thing to look at here is Coach Sims has dedicated to me what his best defender is on Anderson instead of Sua. So that's kind of interesting.
And that's little two-pointer there from Kyler Hatfield. Well, what do you think by that?
So he's a physical defender who can move his feet, and that tells me he thinks Anderson is the guy he's got to stop more than anybody else on the floor.
Oh, coach is just letting it all out today.
Boy, it is nice to see these coaches in some ties, though. That's great.
Right, isn't that amazing?
I've been a little disappointed of the, what our fashion game is over the last few years.
Oh, my
So,
land.
hey, I like this.
Yes, because they get down here, they get up here, and it's very much, well, you have a couple in pullovers and whatever. You have so many coaches that just have not got it all back by now.
Well, what I'm really impressed by is both you guys wore your suit and tie for the game, and so
Well, Coach, they already saw what we wore. They already know that's the beautiful thing about being up here,
Well, that's the funny thing, because that's why I wore the button down, It's off the screen. He's combing out water, sends it over.
By the way, I have to correct myself. We want to appreciate our viewers. It was 2021 that Davis beat Fremont, because in 2020, the great Corey Mullaney and Fremont beat
what
Davis.
am I thinking?
So
You're right.
thanks for that one, Coach. Apologies we got that one wrong. Mullaney's not going to let us take that away from him, and he shouldn't.
Good to know that he was still watching. Right?
I know, right?
Send that ball to the corner. 3 on the way. No. And the board taken down by Coleman Atwater. A nice heads-up move. Sends it up. Bessinger can't get that one to go, and the rebound pulled down by Westlake. Nicely done there by Sione Soon. Or is it Sun?
Sua.
Oh, Dusty, you're such a dork.
But we love you, Dusty.
Jeez.
We love the dork, Dusty.
This is such a dork. 10 seconds on the shot clock. On the drive, going to step back, and still long on the shot, bringing up the floor. And find the man. And there he is, Atwater, and a timeout taken by Coach. And that's a 30-second timeout, but man, Coach, this has been impressive.
Yeah, I mean, Davis, they kind of plant their flag in the ground with what they do defensively, and defense right here we're seeing transition to offense, and that's really our last game with Lehigh in that first half and first part of the third quarter. That's what you saw. So Davis's defense is outstanding, and it's not surprising to me that the game has started this way, but Westlake has got to adjust to what the physicality is, because Davis, one of the things that they do very, very well is they do what we call chesting a player. So if somebody takes a dribble or two, they're really going to try and chest that guy. And it takes a little bit of getting used to, as a team and as a player.
I really wondered how Davis would do with the Westlake physicality, because I saw Westlake play Lone Peak, and they were right up in their grills, everything contested, very physical. I'm really impressed with this Davis defense early. They generated 3 or 4 steals in the early goal, and they've converted a lot of those into buckets. And when Davis gets out and run, that's when they're at their best.
Yeah, and it's hard to run your stuff against Davis because it's so physical, and they're not really a gap and help team. They're more of individual defenders that have primary responsibility to guard the ball. And so Westlake's going to have to get out and make a few plays, loosen it up.
And you know that they're always going to be tough defensively when their motto is to defend. So,
and there you go. How about that one? Getting to the rim was Kyler Hatfield, and count the bucket as he'll go to the line.
Well, that's a really nice job by Graydon Anderson right there, and that's kind of what we're talking about. Is he got in almost into the lane right there and broke down the defense and created a nice little shot there for Hatfield. And Anderson's gonna have to do a lot of that this game, because it's gonna be hard to get Sua loose.
Good start for Kyler Hatfield there. All 5 Westlake points coming for Kyler. Of course, an and one there. Want to remind you, our and ones are brought to you by Tab Bank today, home of the Tab Spend Rewards checking account with 3.5 annual percentage yield on your account balance and 1% cash back on eligible purchases. It's a big deal. Thanks to Tab Bank for sponsoring our playoff coverage this week.
Near steal. Now on the hang. Now a foul on the drive. Going to call that on the floor. As that foul goes to number 5, Graydon Anderson.
Maybe that that's something to watch right there, because that's the one guy they cannot lose. You know, Westlake. They got to have his ball handling.
Now on the drive is Atwater, and so, Coach, I want to know if you think this is a foul. Do we have a replay on
no,
it?
no, we do not,
Oh, my
because
bad.
I'm slacking.
My bad. I thought I was still going to be like, okay, and then I realized I should probably make sure that you hit 10 seconds.
I did not.
As Atwater gets to the free throw line, knocks down the first.
Coach, how long did you find it took players kind of get settled on a big stage game like this?
You know, it's about getting one shot to go through the basket for your scores. You know, you really try to find a way to get them a good look, or an easier look early. You know, even if you have to maybe burn one of your better plays to get it, you know, that you might, usually save for the end of the game. So that right there for Davis is really important. They got, Atwater seeing it go through the basket. Now, if I'm Westlake, they got to figure out how to get Sua a decent look here, because he's a super important part of, them scoring the ball.
They're trying to get it all figured out. There we go.
Shot clock.
Got to get the shot clock taken down to 31 seconds. So out of the timeout, a little straightaway Jay, and got it. I like the game of Kyler Hatfield.
Yeah, and he's only averaging 5 or 6 a game, but he's a kid that we kind of played off of him last year, and he put 19 on us. So it's really great coaching by yours truly here, but not surprised.
How about the take and make there by JT Turley?
We saw his speed against American Fork was a big difference maker for Davis. Uses it there to his advantage.
On the drive and then a foul. Nice take.
Should we look at that take by JT again?
Absolutely.
I do have that one. So says, Coach, yeah, just go. Okay. You lose that corner on JT. Oh, that's a nice finish.
So pretty. And the free throw good for Sika.
So Davis going a little bit smaller here. This kid can shoot though. Number 20. Is it Kauser?
Yeah, Kauser, absolutely.
This kid can shoot a little bit.
And you could see that. You could see it from the game on Friday. To say the least. Oh, that ball's out of bounds. Coach. Coach Sims is absolutely hilarious.
I won't make fun of Chad at all this game.
I don't
Coach, do you ever go back and watch the film and be like, man, what am I doing there?
Oh, all the time. Yeah, all the time. Did I really do that? Were those my mannerisms? The officials really put up with me, Those are all common questions.
It's funny because you seem like such a nice guy, away from the floor. But, man, on the floor, you're intense.
Yeah.
Coaches are.
Yeah, you look at these two guys right here. These are two really good coaches, and they've got really good experience and had a lot of success. And, they're going to bring a little intensity to the game, which is one of the reasons why you're here. But they also have some cool to them as well.
Well, and you look at, the coach for the Davis Darts, who is an absolute stud. And there's a steal, and now a run out here, and then the foul going to be given away. But Coach Sims is one of the nicest guys you could ever want to be around, and then also is extremely, what's the word I'm looking for? Competitive with what he wants to do.
just a little bit, especially when it comes to the defensive end.
No, there's a total steal. So here comes Atwater, going to transition to 3 and hits.
My goodness. But I like the confidence right there. And, that kid right there, he's taken a big step this year. His development improvement has been great to see.
Shows you he doesn't lack confidence when he's willing to take that transition 3, huh?
Not at all.
No. That's one maybe Coach Sims may have been like, hey, that's a great shot.
Yeah,
that's
right.
a great shot. But
how about Hatfield continues to be aggressive here? And
yeah,
I like the senior feeling like, hey, I got to keep things going.
he's a really active kid. Really likes to go to his right on the drive, but he's a really active kid.
Dane, what did you think when you saw that the replay?
I can understand the foul being called in that situation.
Because?
Well, I think it's hard to tell whether he gets all basketball or if there's contact on the arm or hand. So
That's all I was just trying to ask.
I think the ball comes out a little sideways, so you could, deduce that there's more than just contact on the ball. But.
Oh, how about that? Gets the rebound off the miss and then gets the foul, and it's going to put them back at the line.
Well, Featherstone's just a big, strong kid, and he gets it close enough to the rim, he can score it. He can score it. He's not going to step out too much, but, he and 32 banging right there. That's a pretty good little battle.
Yeah, right?
Well, and Featherstone's a football player. Committed, I think, to Utah State.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, I think he's a DN for him. So you see, he's not afraid of contact. And
no.
I do not remember saying his name. Featherstone?
Yeah.
Okay.
I always think of, do you remember the movie Necessary Roughness?
Yeah.
Now, there's a player in there with the last name of Featherstone, and he can't catch worth a lick. And so my favorite line is, "Don't throw it to Stone Hands." So I always think of that whenever I see Beckham Featherstone. It's not applicable to Beckham, but
he's a little different athlete than that one.
Yeah.
Not.
One thing to watch here, they've really got to get Sua involved. He's a really important piece of this whole thing, and they need to get him involved.
There's a steal, come back the other way. So I thought he was going to have to get loose, sends it out, pumps it, drives it, and then the foul before anything else could happen, being put on 15, and that is Sione Sua.
Yeah, the offense just too dependent right now on Hatfield, right? Just no one else really.
Yeah, and Davis will do that to you. Davis will do that to you, to Coach Sims' credit. I'm sure they had 23 circled on their scouting report. But they've got to figure out how to at least get him a look and maybe get him to the line, get a basket, because they really rely on him to score baskets. Does Anderson? How many fouls does Anderson have right now?
How many do we have?
I don't know. I'm not tracking fouls.
Yeah.
My guess would be 2.
I know he's got at least 1.
It's up the floor with Malik.
Even this possession, there's 20 seconds just for them to get into their set.
Yeah.
Unreal, right? 10 seconds.
Got a good look.
Got a great look. Knocks it down. That was number 15. That was Sione Sua.
Yeah, that'll help.
Bringing the game down to 15 seconds. Hands off to Atwater.
That's tough. That's tough. You can't be that far off. You're dropping that screen. That's going to be tough.
He's going to heave, and it's short. What a terrific end to the first quarter. And again, this is the 2025, right? Yeah, 2025 6A state tournament.
With a TabSpend checking account, you earn big rewards. It's hard to not make a scene.
How's your card?
Oh, my card's right here.
That's a big card.
You should see how much it's earned me. Sorry, Grandma. TabSpend isn't just another checking account. It's packed with benefits.
How do I get one?
Just scan this QR code or go to tabbank.com. It's all online and super easy to get started.
Start of the second quarter, Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, and Coach, I knew I was going to do this, Coach Hill. What am I doing? Coach Quincy Lewis. What am I thinking? Coach Quincy Lewis along with us. And Coach, that first quarter, I mean, you think about all of the things we thought we would see, we saw them all. As there was a near steal, but then a foul.
Yeah, Davis's half-court defense, you really see, what it does. They got out in transition. And, Atwater's comfortable right now. He's hit a couple shots, actually 3 shots, I think. And there's maybe another one.
Puts it up and rattles it home.
Coleman had 12 in the first quarter. He's got 15 now and 3 threes. I mean,
yeah,
unreal.
Yeah, and I think Nate might take a look at this and say we don't want to drop that coverage on the ball screen. He's a pretty good shooter.
Sends out to Malik, and he knocks down a 3, and that is Sione Sua.
Yeah, his second 3 today. And Coach, I don't know if you buy into this or not, because you're kind of a no-nonsense guy, but did your teams ever find it was tougher on this portal end? Because it's not affecting Davis at all right now.
No, it's not. We never really looked at that.
Exactly, because you're like, look, go play, right?
Yeah.
It's a basketball floor.
Yeah, Well, that right there is what Westlake really needs. A guy who could get to the basket a little bit, against this kind of a defense, because Davis is going to get out there. They're going to deny the wings. They're going to make running offense difficult. And Graydon is actually one of those guys who can get to the rim, and he's really good at it. He gets fouled. He's important.
Now, they did mention just a moment ago, Sua had picked up his second foul. And that's Simon Sua, 23.
Simon. Yeah.
So the first free throw was no good. The second one was no good as well. This has been crazy to watch how both teams have been bringing up their offense. Goes to the high post, down to work. Sparrow, no call. How about the save in? And how about that? Got Turley, got him off his feet. Good job to get him off his feet, because he landed on him and got the 2-shot foul.
Well, that's a really nice set right there by Coach Sims. He gets the ball on the elbow to Sparrow, who's got a right-hand drive strong. So I think that's a really good set. They didn't get it. Westlake guarded it well. They took away his right. But Turley's kind of an interesting player for Davis.
Because you just don't expect him, right?
Yeah.
He's kind of a kid that you're like, I think he could go out. I don't know.
Well, you look at this. I mean, you guys have seen Davis a little bit, but you look at this Davis team, and that's a strong, not a tall team, but that's a strong physical team. And Turley's the one who looks a little bit different from the rest, but he's a pretty skilled guy.
Well, for me, the question with Davis is always their shooting, and are they going to be able to hit shots? They're hitting shots today, and that's a problem, because when they're hitting shots, they're going to get in 70, and they don't give up more than 60 very often. So Westlake's going to have their work cut out for them.
I would agree. I would think it'd be hard for anybody in this tournament to beat Davis if they make shots.
And it's going to we're going the other way. And Chad was right on it. As soon as I heard the whistle and I looked at Chad, and Chad was pointing, we're going this way, because he freaking nailed it.
I mean, most coaches have a future in officiating. Quincy, you ever think about, putting the stripes on?
Oh, the coaches would kick me out before I got past 2 games.
No, see, you get to kick them out. That's the beauty of it. All those coaches that were just irritating you. T, you're out.
No, what would happen is Jeff Clough would dismiss me after 1 game. Quince, you can't kick out both head coaches.
How about the 3 from Edwards?
Oh,
They're
shoot.
probably from Atwater, and Atwater knocks down another 3. And back on the other way, can't get it. And the rebound to Atwater, and Coleman fires it up the floor.
Thought that was supposed to be Bessinger.
Oh, my gosh. How about the highlight reel from Davis?
Coleman, Atwater doing everything right now, from hitting threes to throwing court-long passes.
He might take his buddy's QB job after that one.
And there's a near steal. The ball is driven.
There
nice
you go.
job.
So that was a nice in and out move there by Graydon.
Look at that.
Man.
Look
How
at
about that? Come right down the floor, give it up to your teammate, and let him get an easy 2.
You feel good because you scored, and then Davis makes you look bad because you feel good because you scored. Just quicker up the floor.
He's trying to hold it all together. High post. Yeah, and there's the foul. You can not like it, I totally get it, but that was a foul.
Team foul number 3. Returning to the game for Westlake, number 0, Alex Sika.
So Malik Sika comes back on the floor. Along with 25.
Nice play.
Inbound, cannot get it to go, and then the rebound and run out. So just hold it up for your teammates.
Where's one?
Well, here's Sparrow.
Yep.
So he's got to get it into one or two's hands, right?
Sparrow can get to the basket.
Yes,
and
he
he
can.
takes contact well.
He's a football player too. There's a lot of multi-sport athletes here for Davis that make major contributions.
Yeah. Well, you look at Sparrow's body and you're like, that kid's a sophomore, really?
Right.
Like 100%.
Well, I don't know if you watch a lot of football, Coach, but he is dominant on both ends of the gridiron.
Is he really?
Yeah.
And how about that steal from Hux? I mean, it is 100% guys who step up. It is unreal.
Yeah, I mean, one thing you like in this game is, Coleman Atwater really, right from the beginning of this game, he stepped up and played like a guy, And that makes a big difference.
He's setting a tone.
3 from Brody, can't get it. And that ball is going to go to Westlake. Got to find something, right? 14-point game. Got to take the timeout, get your team calm down. Go ahead.
How about a little question, little Q&A with Quincy? Yeah?
Let's do it.
30-second timeout here. What was the most difficult gym to play in the state when you were coaching?
Well, I'm going to give you one that wasn't when I was coaching, it was when I was playing. It was the old Provo High gym.
100%.
Yeah. If you were on the front row,
Yep.
you had to sit sideways so your feet wouldn't be across the end line right there. And they had this group called the Green Beret up on their balcony that used to, say a few things to the opposing team, and shake
like
the
good
bat.
game and
Yeah,
nice
good
shot.
game, and we really like you. We'll see you after the game. Maybe we'll take you out to a milkshake, at JB's, but I don't know. The 88 T-Birds still got it done, though, at Provo.
So that was when you were playing in 88. How about when you were playing a little bit later?
You know what? At PG, at AF, on those old gyms, those were, they had 1,600 in the gym. They had another 2,000 in the Ox gym, watching the game. They were crazy. Hard places to win.
All right, we'll get back to a couple other questions because it's going to be pretty interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is a 14-point game, isn't it? Did not expect that.
And it's amazing that they've spread it out so quick.
Wow.
There you go.
There you go. There's the lead.
Boy, that's such a nice set right there by Nate. He's got a guy who's hit a couple shots. There's one guy who's made some shots. He runs them off a little chin screen and then a re-screen down to get it. That's a really nice job of coaching.
Take it to the rim. Can't get it to drop. And now you got a run out.
Got advantage here.
Yeah, you got a player still back, and now you have a foul, and it's going to be 2 shots here to Graydon Anderson.
Yeah, and that's where he's really good. As soon as he got a transition right there, something good was going to happen. He's going to score and he's going to get fouled.
Well, it's interesting because Corden Christensen was behind the plate. He had lost a shoe, and yet Davis still had 4 guys back. Yep. Davis is all bought in. They are exerting every effort they can here today. They know what's on the line.
So the first free throw is good for Graydon. Now he's got 1 more, and he got them both. So 33-24. There's a late little push here from Westlake. Now Coleman Atwater straight away. Cannot get it to go. Yeah, you're going to have a foul on the loose ball. So loose ball foul. Coach, that's a good one.
Boy, sometimes, that was a good look for Atwater right there. The guard-to-guard screen can sometimes be confusing, because generally speaking, you're going to get it from a 4 or 5 is going to set that screen, but they got him a look right there.
So Dane, now we got a chance to see what Durant can do.
Boy, Campbell missing that front
sorry,
end.
Campbell. What am I doing?
It's tough because even on that loose ball foul, it's like, so now we're walking down and shooting free throws. That's the thing. Both teams were in 5 team fouls in that first quarter. Davis is in 5 here. I know it's a 9-point game right now, but I think fouls may very well come back to be a big decider in who wins this game and how they manage that.
He banked it in.
Any way you can get him right there.
It's that bank shot sponsored by Tab Bank.
There we go.
You know, sponsoring all of our bank shots here today.
I mean, that's just crazy.
I mean, they say if you hit the square, it's going in. Why don't you aim for the square more, Coach?
Johnny Wooden style. He taught to bank those, even from 17, 18 feet. That's really nice help right there by Anderson. He helped the helper.
Well, that's an easy layup, but he can't get it. Sends it back out.
You don't see a lot of post-ups with Davis. That's a little bit unusual.
I love the way they worked it in, though.
Yeah.
Middle's clogged, so you work to the perimeter and then in.
Atwater still hanging. Can't get it to go. No call. And now the pickup and then the, let's say, drive. I mean, he set that one up.
Yeah, and again, now we're walking down for more free throws. And I don't have player foul counts, but that's going to be something that I think is going to come into effect late third quarter, fourth quarter.
Yeah, and you hit on that just a minute ago, and I think as you look at this, you got 2 minutes right here, and I have to think that Anderson's got a foul or two. But when he's in the game for Westlake, it's a totally different game.
Yeah.
If they have to take him out, so I wouldn't be surprised if they get him out a little bit on defense, going down the stretch here. But this last defensive possession for Westlake, they got Coleman to take one more dribble a little bit deeper, and I don't think he was quite as comfortable.
He's got 18.
Wow, yeah. That kid's improved so much. I mean, he was a heck of a player last year, but his body is totally different. Man, that's Turley. Yeah.
Oh, what a take and make. Oh, man. JT Turley.
But getting back to Atwater, the kid's taking a real step, in my mind, just watching him, game and a half now. He's that kid's put in some work in the last 12 months.
There's a ball outside, and that's a little long. As there's the rebound now, run out with Atwater on the drive. Can't get it. Now the rebound taken by Westlake.
Give it up. Oh.
Guy goes to the corner. He cannot get that one to go. And here comes Bessinger. Bessinger going to the rim. It is blocked from behind. As that ball goes out of bounds, and it will remain Dart basketball.
Well, that was a big opportunity for Westlake. I would have really liked to see Hatfield give that one up to Anderson, and I think he would have handled that break. Probably got it right back to him for a layup.
Still got a decent look, but back and forth, up and down we go. I love that recovery by Sika defensively, not giving up on the play, getting the block. But this was kind of how I thought that Westlake would try to, get this game into a more frenetic style and not let Davis really set up in the half court. And the last minute or so, they've done that, but Davis probably been too comfortable up to this point.
Yeah, and I like how Westlake's got themselves back in the game because it was right at a tipping point there for a couple minutes. But, I think that the Anderson kid is just really a key. He's on the floor. We're going to have a pretty good game in the second half.
Well, it's going to be interesting just simply because of what both teams are trying to do, right? What were they trying to put out before we got out here? What were they trying to get done when we were watching the warm-up? They're just trying to figure out, what is this going to look like?
Yeah. And it's funny. You can have the most experienced team and come out here on this floor, and it can get weird.
Really?
It can get weird quick, and so you just really hope that you can get a couple baskets early.
That's all you're looking for, right?
Well, and how hard is it to come? I mean, the game previous, I know you're watching, and sorry, Coach, this may be rough, but Lehigh has a 17-point lead in that one on the number 1 seed, and Harriman comes back, right? Never would have thought Harriman would be down. Didn't think Harriman could come back, right? I mean, you just never know what's going to happen. That decides what makes this week so great and yet so frustrating for people at the same time, right?
Yeah, there's no analytic for momentum.
Yeah,
is the one thing that you learn. And, hey, they got up 17, and, Harriman's reeling, and they get one shot. They knock 1 3 down, and all of a sudden things feel different.
Yeah.
So I've been on the wrong side of that and the right side of it, and you feel helpless a little bit.
Little blood stoppage here. Got that all taken care of.
They're just trying to make sure that Coleman's all set.
Well, if you're Davis, you want to make sure Coleman's on the floor, right? The way he has played this first half.
I think that's the second time Davis has run that play, and that's a good drive right there. Just didn't get it.
They have made it tough for him at the rim.
Okay, I was going to say, what are you calling here? And it is a traveling violation on Malik Sika. So come out of the timeouts. Just trying to find the right setup. 25 seconds on the shot clock as we dip under a minute. Driving, now getting to the rim, and the foul. That was a hard foul going to be given to number 0, Malik Sika. Here's another look at it.
Malik Sika, his second.
Oh, that swipe.
At the line.
They're running that little double drag up top, and I think Westlake's getting a little bit confused on it. That was great hustle to come from the weak side. That's something they'll talk about at halftime.
It's crazy because you look at Davis, 36 points, 18 from Atwater, 9 from JT Turley. I mean, those two have done the majority of the damage. 26 of the 30, or 27 of the 36 coming from that duo.
Yeah, this Turley right here, getting a little bit better look at him. He's a nice player. Just a junior, I think.
Yeah.
On the push. All right to the rim, and then the foul.
This is what Graydon does right here. You really, I mean, if you're Davis, I mean, they like to get up in guys, but this is a guy that you just have to really say, we're going to get out, we're going to just keep him in front, take a half step off of him, and really keep him in front of us.
The second there on JT.
And the first free throw is good. And we will have one more.
There's a big possession right here for Westlake coming up. You know, this game's going to go, you know, this game goes 9 or 10, or it could be down to 4 or 5 right here with what happens. This is a big possession.
So come off the screen and works it around. Christensen sends it out for 3, short. The rebound taken. Sends it out to Atwood, cannot get it. Tip it back up, and now the foul is going to put them at the free throw line.
How many opportunities did they have to clear it?
Boy, they couldn't get that rebound. That was pretty important. The thing that you like here with Davis, though, is that was, what, 3 or 4 passes right there, bam, 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 and getting, I mean, they got 2 really good looks at it.
Well, I love the drive and kick, right? Like sucking that defense in a little bit, and just the ball movement, extra passes.
No, that's a coaching thing that happens every day in practice right there, you know, and they're sharing the ball. They get 2 open looks. And what is really difficult about that situation is you're in a scramble now and you're trying to find box out responsibilities. And so you can say, oh, they got a box out like they should have right there, but, oh, man.
Atwater cannot make the 3, and now
oh my goodness,
takeaway by Sparrow, and he's fouled. Holy cow.
I mean, if you're Westlake, what do you have to do to get the basketball? They can't get it clear right now.
Well, they got to chin that thing, but I give Davis some credit.
No kidding.
Man, they are getting after it, and they're going to get the ball. And
how do you teach hustle like this?
You know, I mean, you get into rebounding drills, and you know, you talk about Kelvin Sampson at Houston and the types of things that he does.
We're stalled in time. Oh, that ball was stuck in the netting.
We got to get some new nets here. These things, I mean, it's like it's going through the rim at the bottom of the net.
This one, this is the one. This
one on this, yeah, it catches it.
It totally has it. I mean, look at that. Because there's definitely like a second that you could take out of that.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you get these brand new Evo balls that they're using right here, and they have a lot of stick to them. That's part of the issue.
So 10 seconds, 9-8. Got 5. 3 seconds. 2. Got it off in time, but not online. Oh, man, what a first half, as it is Davis 38 and Westlake 29 for Dane Stewart and Coach Quincy Lewis. We'll be right back as we go to halftime. And welcome back into the John M. Huntsman Center. Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, and Coach Quincy Lewis. And Coach, I mean, you got to be thinking something a little bit differently coming into this one.
Boy, tell you what, you really see, Davis's strength here, that half-court defense. And as you look at Westlake, I think they've battled here, but I think they really have to get Sua involved. I think he's their leading scorer. They really got to get him involved if they want to have a shot at it in the second half. And you know what? It's easy to sit here and say, oh, they got to get him involved, but I mean, Davis is doing a great job. They're all over him. They know, and they're chasing him hard.
And look, Simon's 3 for 4 from the floor. All those are threes, so he's done a nice job. I know you talked about Graydon Anderson. His impact for Westlake, Coach, 3 fouls on Graydon Anderson. So that's going to be tough for how Westlake tries to manage that. Meanwhile, you look at this game, I mean, I thought Davis was going to be dominating the rebounds. It's 17-12, in favor of Davis. Not terrible. 7 offensive rebounds for Davis in that first half. That's a big difference maker.
That is. That's a demoralizing stat right there when you get that second shot. Boy, with Graydon right here, even if he were to get his fourth, and they go right to him.
They do.
And he goes to the basket. That's a nice piece of coaching right there by Nate.
And that's just realizing what he had, right?
Yeah.
That's recognizing, hey, here's my guy. Here's what they're doing to him. Just send it out to Sparrow. Look, there's a back door to Atwood. He sends it back out.
Not even Coleman was expecting that one.
Oh, man, that was pretty.
Nice. That's really nice. I mean, boy, if he can give him that right there. And here you go again, Anderson.
Comes right back.
Yeah, he's tough. He's tough. You got to get off him a half step, and make him make a jump shot.
Coach, how often do you tell your team, hey, I want you to drive at that player specifically? Because if Graydon picks up a fourth, that's a problem, right?
It is, and that's really the game here for Westlake.
Yeah.
You can't. But you know what? Even if he got his fourth, I think they'd keep him. Because if he goes out, I think we saw already what's going to happen if he goes out.
3 on the way, a little too strong, and the rebound taken by Davis. Man, you talk about how crazy this one's been as you get into the key, and there's a hit. How about that one from JT Turley?
Man, he's a nice player.
Yeah.
I feel for Sua right now. They are really focused in on him, and he finally got a look, but he's just not in a rhythm right now. They're trying to get him out again right there.
Could not. He terminated and then couldn't get rid of it.
Yeah, and you know what? He is really a good player, Sua, but he's fighting it right now. He's really fighting it.
I got big because Sloan is the one who's got the 3 threes. Yeah. Simon did not hit a field goal in that first quarter.
Yeah, and
I'm just watching Bodie Sparrow right there. He comes in with that freaking foul, and he just drops it. I like watching Atwater talking with Sims, too, because Atwater's like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm just...
I mean, with Sua, you're talking, almost 14 points a game and, 56 three-pointers coming in.
Wow.
And he's got nothing right now. And to me, that's the game, in a lot of ways, other than Anderson getting a little foul trouble in the first half.
He didn't even get touched. Turns it over, and there's a lay-in for Kyler Hadfield. That's a heads-up play there by Kyler Hadfield. That was really just a really weird play from JT Turley.
Feels to me a little bit like Westlake is kind of back to doing what they do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, if they could just get Sua going, and there he is again. There's a timeout. Yep.
Spencer Anderson was like, yep, here we go. We got everything going. Here comes a timeout.
We got a technical
foul. Yeah.
They got tangled up a little bit. Somebody must have said something.
Here's my thing. You're seeing Westlake hustle to the basketball. You're seeing them get defensive stops and boards and then getting out and running a little bit. This is more what we saw from them in the regular season.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Dane. And, sometimes, I think we've watched it here a couple times here at the beginning of the second half. Sparrow was the last one who went right at Graydon Anderson. And sometimes you're saying, hey, let's get that matchup and go right at him and try to get his fourth, which is important. But sometimes it pulls you out of your rhythm, too.
Mm-hmm.
And so they went right at him. As I looked at it, I'm like, wow, that's a bad matchup. Sparrow going to his right, against Graydon. That could be 4 right there.
Right.
But I'm sure they talked about $500,000. Great, you got to be smart here. And I mean, how many has he got? He's got what, 3 baskets in the second half?
I've got him with 13.
Got 13 on the game.
Yeah, six in this second quarter.
Yeah, if they could just get Sua just 1 basket, just get him a basket and get him going, I think that's the difference for them.
Interesting.
So officials for this game is Brett Kinghorn, Kelly Kinghorn, and then Jana Page. I don't know who got the technical.
Yeah, they haven't announced it yet.
You know, these guys don't get enough credit, and Jana too. You know, they do a great job. You know, and you look at the 3 officials we got for this game, and you know, it's easy for me to say because I'm sitting right here now, but they got a really good crew for the game.
So they were offsetting technicals. Hadfield and JT Turley both teed up.
That's what I was curious about. He's get the ball across half court.
So Kalzer's back in. That's one of the adjustments here with Chad. You know, good shooter. They're not going to play big right now.
That ball was just. You just knew it was coming. You could feel it. It was just absolutely going to happen. As Anderson picks up the loose ball, beautiful pass, and there's a lay-in.
You know, some players will try to finish that. I love that Grayton just hands that off to Carter Campbell.
Yeah, he had great patience on the break right there.
Sends back out for 3 and got it. How about that for Trayden Bessinger?
It'll be 1 for 3.
Boy, tough to come off the strong side right there. You know, man, that kid gets a big shot.
To come off the screen here with Anderson. He's trying to get around the defender, and then he called it on the floor. So call that on the floor will not be a shot.
But you talk about his headiness, the double teams there, he just kind of takes a step back, allows that defense to reset, and then attacks around that baseline. It's a heady play.
Yeah, boy, you've seen it 2 plays in a row now, right? Just his patience on the floor with the ball, and he winds up in a switch. Oh, they're trying to get him going. Boy, Nate has really run some good stuff.
And an easy lay-in on this end of the floor for Atwood. Coleman Atwater.
I mean, you talk about the tough day for Simon Sua, Coach. How do you get him to get confidence in that shot again?
You know, the hard thing is he's a jump shooter. You know, he's a 3-point shooter. He's got a good mid-range with a 1 dribble jumper. But what he really needs is to get to the foul line, you know, right now or get a layup.
Oh, that was a definite foul there. Yeah. I was going to say, the dude freaking grabbed him. So Sika picks up the foul. Coach Atwater just has something every play, man.
Wouldn't be coaching if he didn't.
Like, what do you got on there? He's like, dude, he grabbed him. Atwater sends it out. And then on the drive, they're going to say out of bounds off of Westlake. Westlake is going to go ahead and say, hey, it's off it's off me, not necessarily off him. Sends it back out, 3 on the way, and good. Hey, there's Kalzer. There's your shooter.
Yep, that kid can make a shot. That's why he's in there. And, boy, really impressed. You got essentially your 5-man driving and kicking for a 3 right there. That's impressive.
Well, it speaks about the confidence they have in their teammates, right? You collapse down defensively and leave that open shooter, and they have all the confidence in the world in Riker Kalzer on that shot.
Yeah, and that versatility that Davis has right there. That's impressive.
Oh, nice take and make.
He's starting to take this ball game over for Westlake.
He's keeping Westlake in this game right now. He's keeping them in it.
Oh.
Atwater backs up. He throws it along the baseline. He cannot get it back. There's a steal now. You
got to give it up. Give it up. Give it up.
Drive.
Cannot decide. And Campbell's fouled. And that's where you look as a coach, it's like, what are we doing? Dude's just like ramping on his possession, all that stuff. And
how about the body slam on this end? Huh?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, what the hell is that?
Hey, Kauser's got a little heft to him right there. There's no foul there. He just ran into a wall.
That's why you spend time in the weight room, right, Coach?
1,000,000%.
Either that or the breakfast table.
table muscle. You just got to. Well, you can see Kauser's value, though.
Yep.
Yes, you do. See him just get to the rim, and then it's going to lay it up and in. And now a 9-point ball game as they had tied the game earlier in this quarter at 43. Is that what it was? I thought it was. So he holds on to it. Come back the other way, and he lost it. Had the handle, had everything. Oh, nice pass, but he can't make it. And now timeout as Westlake got the ball back and say, hey, let's just calm this down. All right, we're going to take a step aside as in this one it is Davis 52 and Westlake 43. And welcome back into the John M. Huntsman Center. Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, and Coach Quincy Lewis. Coach, there's some interesting stuff that we saw in going into the break.
You know, as much as we've talked about, Coleman Atwater and what a great, he's hit some shots and, some different things like that. But really, you're watching him play defense on Sua right here. They're running him off pin downs, flares. They're running him off all kinds of stuff. And I'll tell you what, Coleman Atwater's he's a two-way player right now. He's been fantastic out there.
Well, and that's the amazing thing because you'll hear, talk about, we want to save energy for offense. But he's giving it all out on both ends of the floor and doing a stellar job.
He's doing it all. He's doing it all right now. I'm really impressed with him. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, that's a pretty little move. And Kauser is fouled at the line. How about that one?
Man, in and out with a left. That's something you didn't quite expect there. And we'll say he blew by his defender right there.
I mean, he wasn't even waiting. It was like, hey, I'll just go ahead and do this.
Look, if you're going to wear the number 20, you better
Believe me.
ball
now,
out,
who
right?
wore 20? Yeah, of course you did. I know that.
But
I was wearing your jersey the other day.
So did the great Gary Payton.
That's true.
It's a stellar athletic number. What was your number, Quincy?
Well, as you're talking about Dusty and Gary Payton, I see a lot of the similarities right now.
Yeah.
Defensively, I can see Dusty in the day.
Absolutely.
The glove. He was the glove at the time.
What was your number?
I was 31 in high school.
Oh.
Yeah, 31. I liked Dwayne Pearl Washington out of Syracuse, so he was my guy.
31 was the first jersey I bought. It was a Reggie Miller jersey.
Oh, there we
that
go.
Old Indiana jersey. Oh, yeah.
So that's where all the talking comes from, then.
Exactly. Yeah.
Come off a screen. Gonna hold up. Here comes Anderson on the drive, and they got a foul before.
This is one thing, with Graydon. He's got a little Henry streak in him, which is a good thing. And he's playing against a guy who's got a little toughness to him too. It's an interesting matchup.
He's trying to watch what he's mad about.
But I think one thing you have to look at right now, if you're Davis, is how many 3-point shots or jump shots has Anderson shot in this game?
Yeah, they just said, was it Wright has 4 personal fouls?
Correct.
Just got that in. Oh, no, turned over.
Oh, it has a nice out-of-bounds play. Tell you what, Coach Carling has run some very nice out-of-bounds plays. They've probably had 4 or 5 looks out of their out-of-bounds plays in this game.
I feel like Coach Carling is one of the underrated coaches in this state.
Yeah.
See, what is it like to coach against him?
His teams play hard. They play together. And as I look at the job he did a few years ago when he lost, could have been his best player. And they still played for the state championship.
Yeah.
He found out, he coaches with his heart a little bit.
It certainly does. Timeout on the floor, as that will do it for the third quarter. Again, it's Davis 53, Westlake 45. You're watching the 2025 6A state tournament.
With a TabSpend checking account, you earn big rewards. It's hard to not make a scene.
Cash or card?
Oh, my card's right here.
That's a big card.
You should see how much it's earned me.
Sorry, Grandma. Tab Spend isn't just another checking account. It's packed with benefits.
How do I get one?
Just scan this QR code or go to tabbank.com. It's all online and super easy to get started.
And welcome back inside the John M. Huntsman Center. Dusty Lidster, Dane Stewart, and my man, Coach Quincy Lewis. Pretty interesting one, Quincy. Now coming into this quarter up 8. What do you got to do if you're Coach Sims?
You know what? I think maybe an adjustment with Grade, make him do something a little bit different, and then really, if you can get Coleman a shot, it's hard. It's hard to get him a shot, but if you can get him a shot, that'd be great. Turley's an interesting way to go too. Okay, so they got a mismatch here. They ended up switching that drop screen. Couldn't quite get it.
Yeah, he could not get it. Turns it over.
I was kind of surprised he was able to hold that pivot foot as long as he could, and his momentum didn't cause a travel there.
Dane, if you're Coach Carling, what would you do?
For me, I'm trying to work this ball inside, and I really don't feel like we've seen them drive a lot outside of Anderson. I'm trying to get to the rim here.
Pushes down, can't get it. Rebound to
Hatfield,
Sua.
that's what he does. He's really good at it.
And there is Anderson. Nice
Yes,
make.
He has a knack for it. Really has a knack for his nice Euro step to the rim.
Oh, that's pretty. Does get it inside, blocked away from behind.
Seeker with a couple blocks here tonight.
He's had to play a little bit differently. Of course, Sua has been stuck in foul trouble all game long. So he'll come off the screen. Now he'll have one-on-one with
Great
the
pass.
big, sends out. It won't go. You have one of those, and it's like, hey, this is going to happen. And then it doesn't.
Boy, it's so hard to get that kind of a shot against Davis. Boy, you got to make those pay, but that's a nice drive and kick.
And that's what
Good offense.
Westlake really hasn't shot the 3-ball super well today.
Oh, man, how about that one? Got that inside, and Bessinger just lays it up and in. Got to send that inside, knocked away.
Guess who?
That was there from Bessinger, right? Cowser. Because he fakes that one, gives it to the trailer, and there is a foul.
That's on Graydon.
Tell you what, this Cowser kid's a good player. He's a good player. He does some nice things for him.
He is, isn't he, right?
Yeah.
He's like those guys you had on your Lone Peak teams.
We had a few nice players on those teams.
Oh, and you had some guys that they were just athletes, right? Because, I'm just thinking back on, you had the BYU kid that was really, really good. That I don't know why I can't think on his name.
That whole team went to BYU.
Yeah, it reminds you a little bit of like, a Brody Berry type kid that that did a lot of different things. That was just a winner.
And he just happened there. How about that one?
Yeah, that right there is a play that, to me, Atwater really would have had a hard time making that play last year. But he's really been on the weights. He's an improved player. And, he was a good player last year, but I don't know that he would have made that play last year.
But, Coach, you can even see his definition from up here.
Yeah.
Coleman has done a lot of great work in the weight room.
When I watched the game, there he goes again. Good call. When I watched the game against American Fork, that's one of the very first things I noticed was how much bigger and stronger he was. And that doesn't necessarily translate to being a better player, but it can help if you've got skill level, which he does.
On the drive, going to pull up, can't get it. And the rebound taken down, and now hands it off. As here comes Nice play.
He knew exactly where he was that whole possession.
Sends it out. Nice job of just getting back, kind of just sitting down.
And how many shots could they have taken right there? 3, 4?
Yep. The ball still loose. Goes to Cowser. Oh, and he gets fouled there by Spencer Anderson.
Yeah, I think Coach Sims has learned a little bit from Coach Welk. Coach Welk is, you get into this game, and his teams were always really smart teams, and, just as was pointed out right there, they're just making a few extra passes. They passed some decent shots up. The play I liked right there, though, is that's a 50-50 ball that, Atwater could have just let go, and he got his nose in the middle of that thing when it bounces to a teammate.
That's the end there for for Beck and Featherstone as he fouls out.
At the line, number 2, Bodie Sparrow.
So at the line is Bodie Sparrow. Calmly knocks down the first. Sparrow is a all-state wide receiver. Davis
plays DB as well.
Does play DB. He's a really good safety. I went 2 for 2 there.
Tell you what, I wouldn't want to get hit by him.
No.
That'd be like a truck hitting you.
At all, and he's only a sophomore.
Yeah, and he started as a freshman, or played as a freshman.
He played as a freshman, that's correct. On the offensive side, he was a starter. Defensive, he came through. Send it out, and the 3 is there. And how about this? They're not just gone. They're down 9. They do have to find some defense. Atwater gets around the defender, can't get it. And now a foul on the rebound.
And his cows are in amongst the trees.
So many people looking around, and then there's cows who's kind of like, what, who, me?
You know, as much as Davis has controlled this game, you really feel like, you know, if Westlake could just get a couple stops right here, this could look a lot different.
Way different, right? Here comes a drive, can't get it. Now the rebound. Here comes Davis on or Westlake rather, on the run. Will follow, he can't get it. And then a jump ball. Jump ball, and the possession belongs to Westlake. And they got to find their way a little bit. Tipped out. The 3 is good.
That's a good shot.
It's only a 6-point game, Dave.
Yeah, 2 good things on that one. One, Sua scores, sees the ball go through the net. The other one was, it's a 3. We talked about they haven't hit the 3 ball real well. See if I can give the rest of this offense some confidence, including Simon.
Gets inside, off the rim, no. And here comes the offense, down 6.
I think they got a good matchup. If they would have they didn't take advantage of it. They brought the second screen to the ball. Probably should have left him.
Yep. As Anderson goes at Featherstone, and then it draws a foul on the drive. That's the first team foul for Davis.
That's the 4th on Bessinger, though.
Ooh.
Nice throw inside, and it was Bessinger that got in there to knock it out. And then a timeout granted to Davis. Well, they took the timeout. We're going to take it with them. Take a quick one. So you're watching Davis and Westlake at the 2025 6A State Tournament. And welcome back inside the John M. Huntsman Center. Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, and Quincy Lewis. Pleased to be joined by you all.
It's great to be with the legends here. First time ever. Just get my feet wet. I hope I haven't messed it up too bad for you guys.
There's always an open chair for Quincy.
Always an open chair for Quincy.
It makes Dane look better.
It helps Dane out.
Oh, nice pass there. There it is. Oh, got it open. Cannot find the rim. 5 seconds.
Didn't touch the rim.
You got to get a block out here. You got to get a block out. Everybody's got to block out.
1.
They didn't. Ooh.
Oh.
Is that not a travel?
I thought it was Twister.
Hand comes down. Is that not a travel?
I think it's Twister.
Apparently not, because that's what I was thinking. It's like, if he doesn't go down, he's not down.
But the hand goes down. Coach, are you yelling for a travel?
Of course I am.
Okay, all right.
Do I know if it's a travel or not? I have no idea. See,
that might be the best coach's mission ever.
That might be my favorite thing. Mainly because at the time I was like, no, it's not a travel.
You know, you think the coaches know all the rules, but we don't. We just act like we do.
There you go. There's the answer. 3 on the way and hits.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
That kid's made 4 of them, I believe,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So a little 1-3.
Yeah.
A little 1-3-1. They got the big guy in the middle.
You like this, D?
You know, it changes things up a little bit. We ran this a few times in my career.
I think just a couple in 2013.
Oh, that's such great hustle right there, and a good timeout.
I love a 1-3-1, Coach. When do you find 1-3-1s to be like the most effective?
You know, they can be disruptive, especially when a team is feeling a little bit antsy. You know, like they're down or they're under a little bit of pressure. I think that's the best time for a 1-3-1. I don't like the 1-3-1 as much when you're just in the normal flow of a game. Though people are comfortable because there's holes in the 1-3-1 like any zone defense. But right here again, they got them to miss. They got them to miss, which is actually and to get the rebound is the biggest challenge out of the 1-3-1. But Coleman Atwater, again, your best player, he makes the hustle play on a rebound down here, and he gets another hustle play right here. I'm just super impressed by what level this guy is at. He's doing a lot of different things on the floor.
He's only got 4 points in this second half. I mean, he had that huge first half. It hasn't been as effective on the offensive end, but we have seen him make huge defensive contributions.
Yeah, his defense, his rebounding, he gets in a hustle play and knocks the ball to a teammate. I mean, you know, I don't think that's who this kid was as a freshman and a sophomore. Agreed. Coming into this program. This is, honestly, he's a product of Davis basketball and a Chad Sims coaching, honestly.
It's crazy. You walk into that gym and that whole wall is Davis basketball awards. It's nuts.
I mean, they have such a tremendous tradition going back to Coach Gardner. And
which they defend.
Yeah. And Coach Welk, I mean, Davis means something, you know. It means something. If you're a Dart and you wear brown, it means something.
It does.
You know?
Here we go. 25 seconds on the shot clock. Drop that ball inside.
They've stayed with that 1-3-1. They're a little bit out of it right now. Let's see. Oh, no, now they're going to match it up. That's 4.
Oh.
Yep.
That's 14 fouls maybe.
Dude took a shot in the back, if I'm looking at it right. They're waiting to see if we did a replay. The answer is no, we did not do the
we
replay.
did not. I was more concerned about Anderson than what number foul that was.
Yeah. Well,
my bad.
And that was my thing. No. My thing is we don't have a replay because we're not going to show it.
What are they calling right here? That wasn't a shooting foul, was it? I thought he checked him pretty hard out of the. Yeah,
and he checked him out because he got the foul on the floor and then checked him out of bounds. Because I think that's what I saw.
Yeah.
I think I saw a hand extended.
You know, right here, if you're Westlake, they're going small. If you're Westlake, you don't want to bail them out with a foul. They've got to earn this basket.
Yep.
Right here. Because next foul, they are in the 1-and-1.
Here comes the 2-on-2. There's a steal. And he's going to cut to the rim and gets a foul call.
And that might be 5 on Bessinger.
Boy, I tell you what, there was a decision right there. You know, 0. I mean, he's got to make a decision right there. Am I going to the basket? Am I pulling it out? Great decision. He went and got the angle, made sure he got fouled. Lucky that wasn't a 2-and-1.
That's very true.
That's Sika, right? That's Sika 0.
0 is Malik Sika, yep.
Yeah. Really
so
good decision.
Trayden has just fouled out.
So there's the day for Trayden Bessinger.
And officially 10 points for Bessinger. A couple threes.
So Davis is going really small here. I think Westlake has got the guys in there to be able to match up with them. You know, at this point, you got a minute left on the clock. You got the shot clock, which is a huge thing. And I think you just got to say, all right, we got to play defense here. You know, don't take any unnecessary chances.
It's crazy that Westlake is in this game late, right? It felt like Davis had this game at multiple points in the first 3 quarters.
Oh, and he missed the second. Oh, my goodness.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Man.
Just barely got away. They got to go. They got to go. So they bring up the floor.
They just got that
Westlake's
across.
got to be smart. Don't just foul. Just don't foul him.
Don't foul him.
And they did.
I mean, he went right into that and got the foul, which is a 2-shot foul. So it'll be team foul number 5 on Westlake, which is a 2-shot foul. And to the line for 2 is Bodie Sparrow.
Well, it's too bad right there for Westlake, because you get in this kind of a situation, you got a 2-point game, you know you're going to have a difference of 15, 20 seconds on the shot clock. And really, to me, the pressure is on the offense at that point to score. And really, a lot of times the offense is going to try and run the clock a little bit. They probably aren't going to get as good a shot as they normally would, and you just don't want to bail them out. But no, here you go. You got a tough kid with Sparrow on the line. See what he can do here.
And Bodie Sparrow going to try to get himself prepared for these free throws. As I mentioned before, this young man is a multi-sport athlete. Calmly knocks down the first.
Coach, if you could give advice about how to take a free throw to young athletes, what would you tell them?
Well, it's all about your routine and habit, and then, just shooting 100 to 200 a day in the off season, truthfully, but you also have to shoot them when you're tired, too. Right. It's just not straight repetition. You have to shoot them when you're tired, and put yourself in difficult spots like shooting games with free throws, I think, are important. And then sometimes you just have a guy with the right mentality that's tough, and I think this kid has it right here.
Yeah, why don't we have you slide over? That way we can, all three of us can be in on this. And, it's interesting that, Coach, that's what you would talk about, because that's what I always heard. Okay, you got to be able to shoot free throws and have shooting games, but what else needs to go into the shooting games and all the stuff that you have with free throws?
It's a mindset, like Cooper, who played last year, he got fouled at the end of the Harriman game, and he had to make 3 free throws. He had to make all 3. Cooper's workout is he would make 600 shots a day, but the very last thing he did is what we called Kyle Guy. Kyle Guy is the guy for Virginia who made 3 straight free throws to win the national championship. And so at the very end of every one of his workouts, we said, all right, Kyle Guy, we don't leave until Kyle Guy. And so he had to make 3 in a row, even if he missed them sometimes. Wow. And so that's what I mean by putting a little bit of pressure. Yep. You're a little bit tired. But sometimes you just have a kid who has a mentality, that's just, you're not going to miss him.
See, and that's the difference. After practice, I went and got a grape snow cone. Call it good.
The free throw is good.
Dane, that's not surprising.
At least it was purple. It was great. It was great.
So off the make, here comes Westlake. He's going to drive hard to the hole and got it.
Did you foul here, Coach?
Man.
You've got to find some way to get the clock stopped, right? Or you just got to defend 10 seconds.
I'd like to see him try to get it across half court here. Oh, they call timeout.
It's the last one.
Okay.
Last one.
So everybody has different philosophies, Dusty Dane. I think everybody has a different philosophy. For me, in this situation right here, again, the pressure is on the offense.
Okay.
Right here. And you've got enough time where you can get 2 or 3 traps to me. And, it's a free trap because they're really not going to try to score the ball unless it's a layup. So you got 2 or 3 free traps right here. Just don't foul them. Let them see if they can make a mistake and then maybe take one. So.
And especially in your situations you're talking about, you have 2 or 3 free traps, and then you have number one, the foul at the end. Yeah. Right? He's got to get that one to go, and a bunch of different little things.
Yeah, if you just take one guy and you protect the basket without one player, and then take your other 4 players and you trap and you rotate, I think you can take a few chances right there and not have to pay a price because they're not going to shoot an open 3 right now. So to me, the advantage is really, you wouldn't think it, but the advantage is with the defense.
What an optimistic person you are there, Coach.
He looks so optimistic. So up 2, just trying to get it in, and there's a foul, which is an interesting decision. And what you're hoping is that
miss one or both.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Coleman's had a great he's had a great game. He's our best player. You got him on the line. Couldn't ask for anything more right now if you're Chad.
Right. And this Davis team was not far away from potentially not being here. That early up game went double OT, and just crazy how competitive 6A is this year.
Yeah.
Croydon Christensen comes in. Zatwater knocked down the first. The second is good as well.
That kid's worked too hard in the offseason to miss one of those.
No grapes, no cones for Coleman.
So back up the floor with Westlake. Lost the handle, loose ball, check down, and then timeout taken.
Coach, do you need a 3 here if you're Westlake, or do you still feel like quick 2's okay?
No, I'm taking the first basket I can get right here. And in fact, you have to think about what's being said in the Davis huddle right now. He's probably talking about a 3, and he's saying don't foul either. That's even though they have 3 team fouls right now. He's saying don't foul, and so if somebody puts their head down and goes to the basket, they're probably not going to foul him. And so you get those 2. Nate's got a timeout left. Now we get a timeout, and you got maybe 10 on the clock. And now you have a different strategy going into your last 10 seconds. But I think getting the bucket is the most important thing here. Because it's going to be hard to get a 3 right now.
When you say that, don't foul. If you're Davis, you have 3 team fouls. You've got a 2-possession lead here, 16 seconds left. Why would you be like, don't foul? We don't want to do that. I mean, I can understand on a shot, but just in general.
Because you know what? For me, at least, if you say, hey, we're going to take one right now. Well, take one with 14 seconds left. And now if you do foul, they're going to the line.
Okay, so you just like that protection.
So to me, the difference is having 2 team fouls and 3 team fouls right here is the difference. And so, but that's essentially what he's saying is he doesn't want to foul and give them 2 free throws, stop the clock, do all those things. And so that opens up the great possibility of just being able to go right to the rim because guys don't want to foul him.
See, this is why we bring guys like you on. This is awesome. Do you have a play? Actually, we should have given you a whiteboard. You could have drawn out the play. What would you call here, Coach?
Oh, I ain't got no plays now. I'm done. I wish I could have got it to Anderson, but you got to go. You got to go. Yep.
Got to go. Here he goes. And he gets to the rim. Can't get it. Rebound taken by Atwater. And now a foul called. And then it'll be on 23. That's Sua.
You know, Coleman had a couple of opportunities against that American Fork game to win it late. Oh, in regulation and the first overtime, he had game-winning shot opportunities. He missed them. I love the mentality he's come out with today. Even there, he gets that rebound, and he gives a little shout-out to the Westlake students. I love his mentality and the way that he came about his game today because he's been fantastic.
I was so curious what he was going to do on the first one. He's able to roll it in.
Now you do need you want to take a 3.
And now he got it. So 69-65. And that's a long 2. It wouldn't have mattered. So he has to put in the pass here, and this is all it.
This is it. Yeah.
So right now, Davis is going to be super, super irritated and happy with what they were able to do. Because the 3 is off the mark, and the Davis Darts move on to the 6A semifinals. And what a game, Dane. I mean, that was an outstanding game from Davis.
Great game. Loved the start from Coleman Atwater. Got great support when he needed it. I thought it was an all-around team effort. You talk about the contributions of Kauser and Bessinger. Sparrow made some timely shots. This was a very, very well-played game, and congratulations, Davis, the number 2 seed, moving on to the semis.
Hey, Coach, I mean, you had to feel pretty good watching that one, and what would your thought process be going into Wednesday?
Well, you got to, with this game, I mean, that was a tough win. I mean, give some credit to Westlake. They hung in there for a lot of that game, and Anderson really showed some heart out there. But you got to forget this game pretty quick. Go in there and tell your guys, hey, great job, nice win. And this is who we're guarding, this is who you're guarding, this is what we got to do for the next game. And that's just kind of how the tournament is. You can't live on this one very long.
That's very true. Coach, your final thoughts of what we just saw from Davis and Westlake.
That was a heck of a game. I think, Coach Sims wearing the tie really helped, in that game. And, I'd recommend it for the next game. But, I really like the Davis team, and I think the point was made by Dane early. Hey, these guys, Davis makes shots. You guys have seen him. If Davis makes shots like Bessinger and other guys other than Coleman make shots, this is a pretty tough out for anybody in the state tournament.
Yeah.
Davis is.
Well, and it certainly is. And I'll tell you, it's going to be really interesting when we get him back here on Wednesday. Dane, your final thoughts?
Yeah, great shooting by the Darts. I think they set a tone early. And look, I love the comeback from Westlake. They looked like they were just out of this, right? But you saw a lot of heart and hustle. You expect that from Coach Carling's group, but in the end, Davis just too much. And I agree, Coach. I think this is going to be a really interesting team to keep an eye on. And you could have a region matchup in the semifinal potentially on this side of the bracket, which, well, you've got one on the other side. You could have one on this side, too. It'd be fascinating.
Yeah, this next game will be interesting. I know Layton won the game earlier, in the year. The Layton versus Davis, there might be a few feelings in that game. Maybe a few,
Maybe just a couple. Coach, thank you so much. I'm sure we're going to see you here later on.
It's my pleasure to work with both of you guys.
Thank
you guys are the best.
Absolutely. For Dane Stewart and for Coach Lewis. Oh, man, I was like right there. I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and watching the 2025 6A State Tournament.